This is Renee Gillette-Silverman, your host and student at Florida International University. I will be interviewing attorney Jerron Kelley, a well-established real estate attorney servicing the areas of Miami-Dade, Broward, and Palm counties. And he's also managing partner with Kelley & Grant, which provides foreclosure defense and eviction services to their clients. First of all, I'd like to thank you, Attorney Kelley, for participating in our entrepreneurship assignment, and that's just a lot about you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. It's a pleasure to be interviewed and speak with you.
Okay. Well, due to time constraints, if you don't mind, I'd like to jump right into the questions.
Sure.
What made you realize that you wanted to start a law firm, and what was the influencing factor for that decision?
Well, it's funny you asked that question. When I originally went to undergrad, I got an undergrad business degree in finance. That was my major, and then I got an MBA in finance as well. So I always just saw myself in business and being an entrepreneur. But along the way, as I was in school, my parents suggested that I go to law school, and even though I was sort of resistant at first, their opinion was that it would open doors for me and allow me to have a broader array of not only skills but possibilities in being an entrepreneur, business owner, or even an employee if that was the track that I chose. So I decided after some long discussions with my family that it was probably a good idea. So I applied to law school, and here I am. So.
Right, and it certainly was. Thank you. What steps do you take to ensure that the law firm is continuously growing?
Well, as an entrepreneur, I truly believe that marketing and the advertising and networking are three of the biggest aspects of an entrepreneur's role and their duties. You can oftentimes get caught up in the daily grind of the business and the operations and doing customer service or working with vendors or whatever the type of business that you're in, but in order to help your business to grow and reach the next level that you want, you really need to put a good amount of focus, time, and energy and money and resources into advertising, marketing, and networking. I find networking is a great way for getting free referrals and business that really doesn't cost you any money. Maybe it costs you a little bit of your time and energy, but meeting with other people in your industry and your space is a great way to grow that business.
Excellent, excellent. And which marketing strategies do you use to draw your clients to Kelley & Grant?
Well, one significant marketing strategy we use to build ourselves up to this point is getting in fairly early with internet marketing. We do a lot of pay-per-click marketing. We do some search engine optimization, but I'm not the biggest fan of that. But again, not only do we spend money in advertising, which is a great resource for us, and it does bring in a lot of leads and new clients, but we also get a lot of referrals at this point. Once you're established and you're out there and you're meeting people in your industry and your space and colleagues, they begin to refer people to you, and whether that's in a law firm or that's some other type of business, I think it stands true for whatever industry you're in, that you really do want to build those bridges to other people and get networking and referrals and word of mouth.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Sure.
And did you experience any challenges starting the firm, and how did you and your partner overcome them?
Well, there's always challenges, and new challenges pop up every day. So really, I mean, there's a sort of a psychological component to it, and not allowing those roadblocks that come up or speed bumps to really cause you to get down on yourself or to give up. So there's sort of that aspect to it. Especially in the early stages of being an entrepreneur and opening a business, one of the main challenges is, of course, financing the business and getting customers and really just persevering and getting over that initial stage of getting to a point where you can have a suitable income. So I would say probably for the first 6 months I was barely breaking even in the practice. I mean, making some money, but as far as living expenses, it's never easy. But 4.5 years later, I could say that we're a very successful practice because we overcame those challenges.
Oh, that's great. You just answered my next question about financially, how did everything run, financially?
Sure. Well, I mean, I can just give you a little more detail behind that. You see when you really put the effort into it and you dedicate yourself to the business that you've decided to get into, that the rewards almost always do come. Sometimes it takes you 6 months or a year before you see those financial rewards, but what you're doing is you're doing those building blocks in order to reap the rewards and the success that comes. Sometimes a year, sometimes 2, 3 years down the road, but it comes as long as you're dedicated and you work hard.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know. Well, how was it for you, Attorney Kelley, to make that transition from employee to employer?
Yeah. Well, one thing I didn't explain is that right when I got out of law school, I actually was an employee for a while. I worked in-house at a couple companies, technology companies that I was in-house counsel for, and I learned a good amount about the law, but I also learned a good amount from the entrepreneurs that started those companies, those technology startups, and how they ran their business and some of the successes they had and some of the mistakes and management styles that I didn't agree with, and I've learned from that. So, but one thing I do know is I was an employee for a number of years, probably about 7 years out of law school, but I always knew in my heart of hearts that being an entrepreneur is where I wanted to be, and I'm so glad I seized the opportunity and took the risk and the chance to do it, and I recommend that all of you in the class, if you have a passion for something, do it.
Wow, thank you for that advice.
Sure.
Where do you see Kelley and Grant in the future?
Well, I can tell you that our firm is growing. We're adding at least 1 to 2 new assistants per year, and we're probably growing by, depends on the year, but by a 30 to 50% clip a year with our revenue and net revenue. So financially, I see our firm, the sky's the limit. Financially, what I also want to do is create a business that I can also, once it gets to a certain point, and we're at this point now where we have the support staff to enable me to have the free time and to really have a life outside of the firm. I love what I do, I enjoy it, but I also enjoy other activities, and it's great having support staff and people to assist me and my partner in enjoying a life outside of the business. So I think we've started to become successful in that, and I'm looking forward to not only growing the firm, but enjoying life and the rewards that the firm brings.
And that's certainly where we would all like to be.
Well, I hope so too.
Yes, thank you so much, Attorney Kelley, for sharing your experiences with us.
Sure.
And but that's all the time we have for now. And I'm Renee Gillette-Suleiman, and you've been listening to Attorney Kelley, Jerron Kelley, and thank you for watching.
Thank you.